everyone. Welcome to the Teskey Daily Report. My name is Aaron Teskey. I aim to reach the average American who doesn't have time to watch an hour or more of news a day to get their information. I'm here fighting for your rights and mine, one episode at a time, as the voice of the silent majority. We will pick up right where we left off yesterday. Here is a brief review. We will be covering the outrage over the cutting of funding to Central America.
There were 4,000 apprehensions. I know that 1,000 overwhelms the system. I cannot begin to imagine what 4,000 a day looks like. So we are truly in a crisis.
That would mean $37,400,000 per program in 1 year if they had 5, but it's going to be closer to 4, so it's actually more than that. That should go a long ways in places with that small of a population. In the fiscal year of 2017, the 3 countries received about $500 million. This year alone, we had planned to give Honduras $65.8 million to combat alarming levels of crime and violence, as well as high levels of poverty. $69.4 million to Guatemala for the same thing, and $45.7 million to El Salvador for identical reasons. We also contribute $320 million a year to Mexico, $260 million towards their law enforcement and border patrol and counter-narcotics initiatives. Who knows how high the number could have soared as the years progressed. Between Mexico and the Northern Triangle countries alone, we are over $500 million in a year in foreign aid. To countries who take our money and mock us, they do nothing to improve their S-hole countries and continue to let the migrants flood our borders and laugh as we throw our taxpayer dollars at them every year. Millions upon millions of dollars thrown down the drain every single year. Yet people are fleeing all the before-mentioned countries in record numbers at record speeds, bringing diseases that have been wiped out in America for decades. Where is our money going? How are these people so malnourished? How did they trek thousands of miles? Their clothes aren't tattered. They have cell phones and nice shoes. The walking is staged, and I guarantee there's a bus that drives them. And the movements are paid for by Democrat sources, in my opinion. The likes of George Soros, and I wouldn't be surprised if people such as Hillary Clinton and even Obama were behind some of this. As I said, it is a manufactured, man-made crisis. This statement has been made by conservative individuals such as Trump himself and a Republican from Florida, Matt Gaetz. Although there is no direct proof linking Democrat backers such as George Soros funding the movement, but we have seen links to Soros. From the Ferguson riots, the anti-Kavanaugh activism, as well as the riots on the East Coast after the 2016 election. Why wouldn't he, or one of his subsidiaries, be involved here as well? And with things coming out about the Mueller report and the likes of the people that paid for the fake dossier that started the entire investigation to begin with, why wouldn't those same people pay for this movement? Of course, the image of this migrant crisis was being depicted as only a mom and child running into a smoke grenade. That's the image that was seen blasted all over the news. The fact of life is you are protected by people who are willing to do the dirty and dark things that you won't. Those opposed to violence are often protected by those that aren't. This is true in every sense of the word. Without that border agent or police officer who treats everyone as an equal threat, you can't be protected. I'm not the biggest fan of police officers myself. I had my own fair share of run-ins growing up. I've had my ass whooped by the cops. I've decked cops in the face. You name it, I've done it. I've been very open about my colorful past growing up, and I eventually pulled my head out of my ass. But their job is a necessary evil that keeps the general masses of the population safe. Without law enforcement, the country would turn to anarchy very quickly, almost overnight. The country would be run by the killers and criminals because there would be no one to stop them. Although, in its own right, the previous statement is true already. They show the image of the mom and child, but the increased amount of heavy narcotic busts at the border disappear from the media as soon as they appear. See, you don't see nothing about that in the news. Why don't they talk about that? Because all they want to do is bash Trump and the Republicans. To prevent the overwhelming of our border patrol system, to slow the flow of illegal narcotics, to prevent the flow of criminals, I think we should divert the money taken from foreign aid to the border wall. Screw the globalists. It's time to worry about our country and the ever-weakening foundation that the country is resting on. Alright everyone, that's going to conclude today's episode of the Teskey Daily Report. I'm Aaron Teskey. I'm here fighting for your rights and mine, one episode at a time, as the voice of the silent majority. If you believe in my views, please visit me at patreon.com/AaronTeskey1776. Again, that is patreon.com/AaronTeskey1776. Thank you everybody for your time. Have a great day.